on in that sinus.
Okay.
And so I think like if we're gonna go ahead with this, like we need to take those teeth out, and then we also need to do a surgery called a nasofrontal bone flap. So instead of doing like the small circular incisions and putting the camera in, like I talked about before, I think that we have to actually flap open the portion of her skull and lift the flap up. So there's going to be like a very big incision between her eyes that goes across the front of her skull, and then we would flap that open to try and get this like ovoid thing that she has growing in here out.
Okay.
And if it is like a cyst, taking it out will be curative. If it is a neoplasia, it kind of depends what sort of neoplasia it is. Like if it's a squamous cell carcinoma, those tend to be very locally aggressive.
Okay.
But once you take them out, that can be curative.
So do you think that's what all of this disgusting smelling nasal drain is coming from that more than likely?
Well, it could be, but she definitely has a tooth abscess. So, that tooth abscess is stinky. Like, tooth abscesses are always stinky.
It's just
something going on in that sinus as well. That's sinusitis.
It always drains out of the right side.
But every time she's had this, like, it's only been, like, in the past year that she's had this nasal drain at all. And it's been 3 different times. And every time I never let it go longer than, like, a week. Even Dr. Eddie told me that she was not tested for white blood cell count wasn't high, but when I gave her the sulfur-based antibiotics, it all went away. So, I mean, like the next day, it quit draining.
Okay, so I guess the next important question is, what are we looking at financially now?
Yeah, so with it being like under anesthesia and needing a bone flap and everything, it's gonna be, we're probably looking between 3,000 to 4,000. Hopefully it would be less, but I've got to be realistic about that. She needs anesthesia, she needs multiple teeth taking out, and I think she has to stay here for a little while, probably like at least a week, because I'm worried that when I take the tooth out, it's gonna create like a communication between her oral cavity and her sinus, which is potentially a disaster situation. So we have to like try and create a seal where those teeth have come out and let that gingiva kind of like heal over into that socket. And the best way to do that would be for her to be here, so I can like lavage it.
Absolutely.
And every day. Yeah. While I'm breathing. So I think if you guys want to go ahead, we have to fully commit to spending 3 to 5. There's definitely a risk with her being older.
That was my next question was, with her age, is this something that we should be aggressively going for, or is this something we should be... I mean, because Dr. Feebles thought if we got her face fixed, she could probably have another good 10 years of life.
Yeah, I mean, horses live for a really long time, for sure. I personally feel like this horse is in pain with those teeth, and I think that if we're not going to, take them out and commit to that, I don't know how fair it is for this horse to keep going.
I understand that, for sure.
Yeah, so there's absolutely risks to general anesthesia, but the alternative is that we don't try and we put her down.
I'd rather not do that.
Yeah.
Let's
she has a lot of people that love her, so let's move forward.
I think it's very reasonable to try, if you want to. But this is definitely not going to be a quick fix. And there's definitely a risk involved with this as well. There's a lot of things that could go wrong with not the procedure per se, but she could get an infection, or she could develop a fistula or something. So we definitely, I'd like to try and see if we can help her, but we need to be aware that this could be really, it could turn into a nightmare. I mean, I don't know that for sure. I need to make you aware of that before we go into this. Yeah. I don't want you thinking this is just going to be a quick fix. Like, this is going to be this is going to be a commitment.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't really know until you got the CT scan, so.
Yeah, exactly. Now we know the full kind of extent of it, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we did a fundraiser. We have like $3,000 already.
Okay.
So,
awesome.
So I can. It sounds like. Can we come visit her?
So there's no visitation except for euthanasia, unfortunately, at the moment. We have a COVID policy. But I can try and explain to the hospital director that she's like an at-risk patient, and you want to see her before she gets put under anesthesia. So let me check with her on that, and I'll get back to you.
Yeah, she was just so stressed with us right here.
Yeah, no, I understand. And I'll talk to anesthesia about when we can do this, and I'll give you a call back once I talk to those two parties, okay?
Okay.
All right, I'll speak to you soon.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Bowman.
You're welcome. Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.